So let's get started this morning. And good morning. I would like to very much acknowledge and respect the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Coast Salish, Coquitlam, Tsleil-Waututh, Stolo, and Pikite territories on which I live, learn, work, play, and meditate this morning. And very grateful for the land that we are on. I would love to introduce Hasu Bhaga. I'm not sure if I'm saying your last name correctly. Hasu Bhaga, who is a meditation facilitator that came to me from another meditation facilitator that I participated in a workshop with a number of years ago. And I'm very excited to have meditation this morning and teach us the power of a pause. All right, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to take
You're
a moment.
quite quiet, Hasu. Is there a way to bring your microphone maybe a little bit closer? No? Okay, sorry.
Is that better?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I have it on.
Sorry, I threw you off there.
No, that's perfectly fine. As long as you can hear me. Can everyone hear me perfectly, clearly? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, great. So let's begin again. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to respect and acknowledge the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, Stolo, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Musqueam nations on which I live, learn, and work from every day. Okay, welcome everyone. Happy sunny Sunday to you all, and thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time on the beautiful Sunday morning to be here and participating in this session. My name is Hasu Bhaga, and I am a certified meditation facilitator with the Mindful Monkey and with the Calm Monkey. I'm really sorry, with the Calm Monkey. I have been facilitating and running sessions on mindfulness and meditation for a number of years. And my journey actually deepened a few years back through a medical challenge, and where my focus became healing, and the meditation really gave me a lot of mental strength to get through that. I am an advocate for holistic overall well-being and believe that it really begins with the mind. In today's session, I'm just going to run through an overview on mindfulness and meditation and the role that meditation really plays with mindfulness, how we connect the two together. And then, of course, the outcomes and benefits of the practice. And then the second half of the session, I'll lead you through about a 20-minute body scan guided meditation. Before I begin, and I'm not able to see everybody, and I was going to ask you to, I'm not sure if everybody's on Zoom or whether some of you are on Huva, but I wanted to kind of gauge where everyone was at in terms of mindfulness and meditation, and whether it's something that you already have in your current activity, lifestyle daily, whether it's something new that you're coming into, or whether it's just something that you're wanting more tips on to incorporate into your coaching and or your daily activity life. So I'm not sure whether if you're on Zoom, if you can just open up your chat box and just give me a one-word response as to where you're at with that.
We actually, chat is not enabled in Zoom, so you have to add it in the Huva app in the chat. So I think everybody is familiar with that at this point, just in the chat box to the side. And I will attempt to get in there really quickly and go look. I was setting up our future sessions. Okay. So chat, they're here to learn more, or they're just a beginner. Always working towards. Not one to really be into meditation, but I want to start. Beginner, Can you see those as well?
No, I cannot.
No, okay, that's all right. I'll just read them out to
No,
you.
it's great. I'm happy that you're reading them out to me.
That's perfect. I'm currently taking a class on it.
Awesome.
Beginner as well, here to learn how to teach meditation to my swimmers. Know a little bit about it, but I want to be able to teach my swimmers. I want to learn more about it and how to implement it into my coaching. I use meditation almost every day to help with sleep, and I'm almost always working on being mindful in my everyday life. I also want to learn ways to introduce it to my swimmers. Good for you, Arata. I know a little bit, but I want to learn more.
Great. Okay. So that's wonderful. I'm so happy to have you all here, and I hope that I can give you some really great takeaways. I also have my email address that's on the first slide. I can leave it with you at the end. So if there's any questions that I can't get to at the end, then I'll be so happy to have you reach out to me. When we think of the word mindful, we always I associated very often when I first saw it with the word busy. Our minds are busy. They are filled with our things to do lists, our activities, and our day to day lives, and just managing them. And what ends up happening with this is that we find ourselves worried or stressed, and sometimes it's about the future events that are coming in. We are trying to foresee what we need to do, or sometimes it's an experience that you've just been through, or and are overthinking about. And what happens with all of that is that we end up robbing ourselves of the joy that of life. Basically, when we overthink situations, it really takes the energy and the strength away from us, which doesn't really help us face challenges at all. And what mindfulness does is it gives us the ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. And thinking about an athlete or a swimmer, the feeling of being overwhelmed with a race that's coming up or a meet that's coming up, and just feeling the anxiety and the panic and the rushed frenzied feeling takes away from that experience of the actual meet and the joy of that meet, because when they're joyful during the meet, they're going to do better, and they're going to have a better performance, and they're going to feel like they did better. So mindfulness is that practice. It brings us into the present and into the now, catching ourselves no matter what we're doing, and giving our full quality attention to what we're experiencing in the moment. It includes using our body senses, and anchoring us into the moment, really through tools that we use. And it's about having conscious awareness. We often say, mind that step, or be mindful of your eating habits, or be mindful of turning the light off. And what we're doing is we're just becoming consciously aware of what we're doing. In the context of mindfulness here, really means taking care of our mind, consciously aware of taking care of our mind, and remembering that our ability to be fully present is going to do that. When we take care of our mind, it really takes care of everything else. And tackling our day-to-day goals, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's in a fitness environment, can all be extremely challenging. And if we take the steps to really focus and work on being present, we can help take care of all those goals and really be focused. And this is where the meditation comes in. So, what is meditation? For those of you that already practice meditation, this is not going to be new, but meditation, when I think of it, is exploring. It's not a fixed destination. There's not going to be a vacuum in your head that's going to suck out all your thoughts and just make you undistracted. But it's a very special place where each and every moment is momentous. It's where when we meditate, we venture into ourselves and we really tune in to what's going on, our sensations, very slight sensations that on an everyday basis you wouldn't notice, but things like air blowing on your skin, or um, uh, uh, sounds in the room that you're in, or gentle wafts of fragrances that are coming through. And when you start to heighten that connection of what you are within, you start to notice all of that. We tune into our emotions, and we learn to do the really from within go, I love this, or I hate this, or oh, I crave this, or I loathe that. And you really start to feel it and understand and label exactly what you're feeling. And then our thoughts, we have so many thoughts going through our head. And there's, I think in a day, the stats say that about 70,000 thoughts in a day is what goes through our mind. That's about one per second. And they could be anything. And some of the crazy thoughts would be like, wouldn't it be weird to see an elephant playing a trumpet? Those kind of thoughts are there. You may not ever do anything more than just think about them, but or have them just pass by, but they're there. And sometimes it's kind of nice to pause and go, oh, I had that thought. One of the reasons we want to venture into ourselves and meditate is because we want to accept what's going on within us, for us internally. With an awareness and an acknowledgement, we can use the technique of mindfulness to bring ourselves to a less distracted state. When we can connect and really feel what's going on within us, we can come to an acceptance. We come to terms with it, and we can do something about it. We can really come to a sense of calming. So meditation is the tool. It's a powerful tool. It helps us arrive into that space, into the present moment. And it gives us that inner peace and power that helps us tackle our day to day challenges. It's a practice that really strengthens our ability to come to a one centered focus in the moment with attention. And we do this through a conscious practice focus on one single object. And the easiest is our breath. I think of it as a mental exercise of regulating attention. No matter what is swimming around in our racing heads, pun intended, we are able to use this tool to ground and recenter. So the venturing within us and just connecting sounds simple, and it with regular practice it actually is quite simple. It's easy to do. When we bring mindfulness and meditation together, we help to take a step to sharpen the mindset. And this helps ease pressure. It really gets us into the zone. And the zone is, for an athlete, it's the zone of where they need to be when they're performing. But for an individual, the zone is in absolutely anything and everything that we're doing. Just getting in and focusing is the zone. And so, with the concept of bringing yourself into the present moment with the use of an object, which is our breathing, we create an activity of purpose and ease. And the primary object we focus on with meditation, mindfulness meditation, is our breath. Why? Because it's the one thing that we have control over. We can control our breathing. We can anchor into the moment with our breathing. Our breathing controls every single aspect in our body, and it also controls the mind and the ability to calm the mind. Mindfulness meditation asks us to suspend judgment and unleash our natural curiosity about the workings of our mind, approaching our experience with warmth and kindness, primarily to ourselves and to others. And breathing is a part of us. It's easy. And when we consciously choose to pause and bring focus to our breath for even just a minute or two, we call ourselves to attention, our presence to attention. So at this point, speaking of taking a pause and the power of a pause, what I would like to do, if I may, is to just guide you through a short 3-minute breathing practice. It's extremely simple, and I facilitated this particular breathing practice many times, and I do use it personally as well. And it's going to be very simple. I'm going to lead you through taking inhales and exhales to a incremental count of 10. So if I may ask for you to all just comfortably find yourself seated, place your hands loosely on your lap. And if you feel comfortable to do so, gently close your eyes. The one other thing I do ask is just sit up nice and tall so that your spine is erect. One of the most important things about taking deep breaths is having an erect spine. Okay, so all you need to do is relax, be present, and follow my voice. And bring your focus to your breathing. And now, gently inhale to the count of 1. And slowly exhale to the count of 2. Now breathing in to a count of 3. And breathing out slowly to a count of 4. And taking a deeper breath in now to a count of 5. And slowly exhaling to a count of 6. And again, a deeper inhale to a count of 7. And gently exhale to a count of 8. And a nice deep inhale now to a count of 9. And gently release to a count of 10, completely emptying your lungs. And then bring yourself back to a normal breath. And when you feel comfortable to do so, you may open your eyes. Okay. The purpose of that breathing technique or any breathing technique is to bring you into the present moment, into a centered focus. And I hope that all of you felt that. I can't see you all, so again, in your chat box, you can just let me know if that worked for you, if it made you feel any better from the time we started the session to now. There are many mindfulness meditation breathing techniques that we can do to improve our mindfulness and meditation on a daily basis. And as coaches and athletes, there are actually specific mindfulness meditation techniques that can be practiced to improve mindfulness while practicing the sport. And regardless of which mindfulness meditation exercise we practice, it's really important to follow some basic guidelines. But attitude is everything. And as coaches and athletes, you're all very familiar with that phrase. Attitude drives performance and drives results. And with the practice of meditation and mindfulness, it's no different. To make the practice easier and enjoyable, meditation is encouraged primarily with 4 attitudes. So no expectations. And what does that mean? It means that when we are sitting down to meditate, quite often, if we have an expectation of what we want to happen, we will find ourselves getting frustrated. So think about it for a minute. If you don't have expectations, you can't get frustrated. If you don't have expectations, you can't get frustrated. And know that every meditation session may be unique and every person's experience can be unique. So just have no expectations of your meditation practice. No judgment, which really means don't judge yourself. Um, when you sit down to meditate, you may start having a lot of, when you start feeling into and venturing into your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, you may feel like saying, this isn't right, this isn't how I should be feeling, and or that's not what should have happened. And those are judgments that we put on ourselves. And so when we sit down to meditate, we really don't, we become aware, but we don't label anything. We just accept as is. Everything that comes to us through meditation, we accept as is. Be an observer. Observe what's going on with you all the time in terms of different bodily sensations and what little things are happening in from what you external triggers that are happening in that moment. If you're listening to if music comes on and that feeling that you get, it's just be an observer. Don't allow it to really impact what's going on, but just observe and accept. And then beginner's mind is really important because we can sit in meditation or do meditation every single day, and every single experience is going to be different. Each one of us are different, and so the experience for each one of us is going to be completely different. So to sit and start meditation with absolutely no expectation, and right at the beginning you're starting all over again, like it's your very first time. And when we do that, we tend to have a better experience of it. And that's with everything that we do in life, right? As soon as we do something the first time, we thoroughly enjoy it. And we want to focus on always feeling like this is the first time for me and I am going to really enjoy it. So your job is to just focus and refocus. One of the biggest challenges that people have with meditation is the mind. And meditation gurus often refer to the mind as a monkey mind. Why? Because our mind is full of thoughts, and thoughts are jumping in as through your mind, in and out and all over the place. And so when you're meditating, it's going to be no different. Your thoughts are going to be flowing in, and that's perfectly fine. It's normal. It's what you do with them. And the idea is that you allow the thoughts to come in, you acknowledge them, and then you just gently bring your focus back to the breathing. And the breathing is what's going to keep you anchored and centered in the meditation. So allowing the thoughts, knowing that the mind is wandering, knowing that you've switched away, and then gently bringing back and refocusing. So again, the four attitudes are: have no expectations, have no judgments, have a beginner's mind, and just be an observer. What are the benefits of meditation? So, um, this picture is very self explanatory. There are many, many benefits, and I don't believe that this picture captures all of them. There are underlying benefits that are not measured, but they're there. And the main one that people uh, often talk about is the reduced stress. And it's the first thing that they notice is the stress reduces. And that's because the hormone cortisol that is the hormone that controls stress is reduced, and that's the reason why you tend to feel that right away. It controls anxiety. It When you bring your focus into the moment, we have control of becoming calm, and that calmness helps us with the anxiety. There's emotional health. There's improved quality of sleep. And I know one of you mentioned that you're doing meditation for that specifically. And I have a few stats that I've grabbed from studies that have been done, and one of them is about insomnia. And those studied reported 75% improvement of being able to fall asleep within the first 20 minutes. Supports working memory. So there's a lot of physical and emotional um, benefits in terms of symptoms. But what else does it help with? The benefits of being focused and being concentrated and really bringing our brain to a point of where we can spend more time in a particular task with added concentration and focus, and for longer periods of time, which is huge because in the environment that you all work in, you know that that is something that you want every single athlete to have, a balance of both, feeling good about themselves physically, emotionally, and mentally, and then as well as really being focused in what they're going to be doing. My favorite is that meditation actually can generate kindness, kindness beginning with ourselves. And when we start to be kind and have self-compassion for ourselves, that's something that we then translate over and can share with everybody else. So here's a few um, little stats that I pulled together on studies that have been done. And there's been studies done since the 1930s, which I realized this morning is almost a whole century. And it's on meditation and the effects of it on practitioners. And um, uh, basically, the studies speak for it. People who actually practice the meditation will speak for it. There's a lot of underlying symptoms that kind of start resolving themselves as soon as you start meditating. One of the hardest things with looking at studies and for people who are meditating, and even for introducing meditation to the young ones, and in in sports and in performance, is that the measurement of it. So we it's a difficult thing to measure on a day-to-day basis. It's not something that you do today and you'll see a result tomorrow. It really is about regular practice. Um, a regular practice. Oops, there we go. Yeah, regular practice and incorporating it into your day-to-day. And the more we practice, the easier it gets. I put this little slide in for the coaches, and many of you who have practiced meditation and who have incorporated meditation into coaching will know this already. And so for a swimmer or for any athlete, it really sharpens the mindset. When you bring mindfulness and meditation together, you're able to start focusing in on your mind and mental well-being. And that mental well-being is what brings that sharper mindset. It reduces the pressure because the athlete knows what they're supposed to do and are not overwhelmed by what's going to happen. They're just focused and well aware of where they're heading and that they are in control. Get in the zone. The improved focus and visualization. And we talk of visualization meditations where once the athlete is in a space where they can comfortably sit within themselves, they're able to visualize their event and they're able to visualize what they want their event to look like and how their performance is going to be from a moment to moment to moment. And that adds um, it adds a sense of confidence to them because they can see it. They've already done it in their head so many times that now they are literally just bringing it out and doing it on the day of. Improved mental skills, similar to your sharper mindset. The power of breathing. So as you all know, breathing is vital. The way we breathe in a pool is vital. And shallow breathing doesn't work. And so when we breathe and take deep breaths, we actually start to control how we breathe, and we're able to do that better even in the pool, because you're now used to being able to control how you breathe. And that breathing brings control and calm and results in epic performances. What a great resource, for those of you who haven't heard of him. You may have heard of the book The Mindful Athlete by George Mumford. It's a great resource on teaching powerful mindfulness techniques for an athlete. There's lots and lots of great tidbits, and very easy read. So again, it's George Mumford's book, The Mindful Athlete.
I'll post that in the chat there too.
Okay. Before, I'm just going to move on to the next slide, which is going to be, I kind of threw in a little video that I'm going to share with you. It's just a 2-minute video on the superpower of mindfulness. It's done by Happify. Enjoy.
You may have heard this word mindfulness. It's become something of a buzz phrase of late. I'm going to give you one simple, serviceable definition, which is this. Mindfulness is the ability to know what's happening in your head at any given moment without getting carried away by it. Imagine how useful this could be. Just as an example, driving down the road and somebody cuts you off in traffic. How do you normally react? I think most of us, we normally react by having a thought, which is, I'm pissed. And then what happens next? You immediately, habitually, reflexively inhabit that thought. You actually become pissed. There's no buffer between the stimulus and your reaction. With just a little bit of mindfulness, in that same situation, you might notice my chest is buzzing, my ears are turning red, I'm having a starburst of self-righteous thoughts, I'm getting angry. But you don't necessarily have to act on it and chase that person down the road, screaming at them with your kids in the back of the car thinking you've gone nuts. Now, you might be thinking, don't I need to get angry sometimes? Aren't I justified? I would say yes, but probably not as much as you think. The proposition here is not that you should be rendered by mindfulness into some lifeless, non-judgmental blob. The proposition is that you should learn how to respond wisely to things that happen to you, rather than just reacting blindly. And that, my friends, is a superpower. How do you get it? The way to get it is through meditation. I believe that meditation and mindfulness are the next big public health revolution. In the 1940s, if you told somebody you were going running, they would have said, who's chasing you? But then what happened next? The scientists swooped in, they showed that physical exercise is really good for you, and now all of us do it, and if we don't, we feel guilty about it. And that's where I think we're headed with mindfulness and meditation. It's going to join the pantheon of no-brainers like brushing your teeth, eating well, and taking the meds your doctor prescribed for you. Let me just close by saying, mindfulness is not going to solve all of your problems. It's not going to render your life a nonstop parade of unicorns and rainbows. Nonetheless, this is a superpower, and one that is accessible by you immediately.
All right. So in a nutshell, mindfulness meditation is available to everybody. It's a practice, and it's often said that it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy. The work is to just keep doing it. Results will accrue. It's not rocket science. It's perfectly doable. And we do what works for us. Each individual will connect to different ways of doing it. The mindfulness is the same, the bringing into the presence. The meditation is where each person will do what really connects with them and how it brings them to that present moment. I like to talk about comfort and being comfortable. Meditation is not something about sitting on the floor and you have to be in lotus position. There's little things that are important, like sitting, or like having a tall, erect spine, whether you're seated or whether you're lying down, making sure that your legs are uncrossed and that you are, your hands are loosely by your side. And but being really comfortable in what works for you. And choosing a time that works for you. and choosing a duration that works for you. So it's not about sitting for hours. It's not about making it a specific time in a day. It really, you start with whatever works best for you. So 5 minutes a day. The main thing is practice. The more you do it, the more benefits you're going to see out of it. I'm going to share just a couple of techniques with you and then go into an actual mindfulness session with, and then hopefully also capture some of the questions and be able to respond to them. So I've just listed off a few mindfulness techniques. The one that I shared with you earlier, the breathing one, that's a very simple one to do. And you could do that to any number of breaths. You can do just a simple, take a deep breath, count to 3, is perfect as well. But the first one I've listed here is notice, shift, and reset. So this really is the pause. It's, you pause at any time during the day, no matter what's going on with you, and you notice where you're at. If you just bring yourself into the moment, notice what's going on for you, accept what's going on for you, and then become aware and acknowledge it, accept it, appreciate it, have gratitude for it, and then move on and start your next moment. So what's happened is that you've now taken your busy mind, brought it into the present moment, and then shifted on and reset to begin the next moment. And what's really good to do with that one is to connect it with a habitual thing that you do every day, whether it's taking the stairs. Maybe when you hit the first step, you basically do the notice, shift, reset. Or maybe if you're taking the elevator every day, as soon as you hit the elevator, or if you're running to the coffee machine, you stop at the coffee machine, you do the notice, shift, reset. It's about a 3-minute exercise and perfectly doable. There's many others. The standing posing, the standing one is great. It's you stand with confidence and you do the breathing. Walking meditation, very simple. Again, you focus down about a meter ahead of you, and you walk very deliberately, knowing where your feet are going, with breathing. And then the body scan meditation. So the meditation I'm going to run through with you is the body scan. I'm going to guide you through a very easy body scan meditation. And before I do that, I do have just a few minutes for questions. The body scan meditation will take about 20 minutes. So I have a couple of minutes to just address some of the questions. And thank you so much. I've gotten a few questions here that, here we go, that I'm just going to talk through with you. They kind of all fit into the category of swimmers and implementing mindfulness cues at swim meets, teaching our young swimmers, how do we teach our young swimmers to be mindful? How do we incorporate it into a weekly routine? And but for kids between 5 to 18, is there reasonable progression? So mindfulness and meditation, the first step is breathing. And one of the ways to have the cue for a swim meet, probably the best cue, is if they have been practicing. So the first step is getting them into a routine where they are practicing the mindfulness and meditation. So at practices, you could start the session with having everybody seated on the ground, close their eyes, bring them to focus through breathing. You can teach them how to visualize and when we're visualizing, initially, we don't visualize a meet or how they're going to perform. We visualize what our experience is. So when they're in the water, how they feel, they're really paying attention to each of their strokes, really paying attention to their breathing, and they can close their eyes and they know it, but really visualizing it. Many times our focus when we are prepping children to do anything is in the technique and is in the speed, the way to do things. We really don't come to the breathing part of it. But if we teach them from day one what it means to be quiet, go within, really feel what's going on, and bring in the joy aspect of how it makes them feel. Because once they are feeling great about what they're doing, they're going to perform better. So when we come to cues, then we are, if you're practicing with them already, when you're doing the cue, it's a very simple, remember to breathe. And as soon as you have that cue word, it's going to mentally take them back to what they already do in practice to bring them into the present. Just focus in, enjoy, feel the water, feel what you're doing, and enjoy the ride. Just get to where you need to get to, knowing that you're going to be doing well. The guidance on children and starting them and measuring, there is really no measurement. There's no measurement to how a person is doing. You'll see it in their performance. The guidance is usually, when you're starting, about a minute per age. So if you have a 6-year-old, a 6-minute seated silent sitting where they're just breathing and understanding what that breathing is, understanding what the breath is, understanding how it controls. And so we always start with just quiet sitting for that amount of time. And then as the children progress in age, we add breathing techniques. We really teach them how to focus in and connect with the breathing. And then as they get older, you incorporate visualizing your actual performance. You visualize where, if there's somewhere they're falling short, you visualize how they are improving, and usually visualizing them actually improved already and seeing themselves doing so much better. I hope that answers.
I'm just mindful of the time, and we only have about 15 minutes left, and you said your practice takes about 20. So I've let the next group know that we'll be running over a bit, but
All right.
we'll have to jump right into it.
Well, yeah, I've covered up the questions, and I'm happy to guide and help with any other questions. I have my email. If there's anyone that would like to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. So to go into our guided session now, I'm just going to ask you to just prepare for it. If you have your audio on, turn it off, and feel free to turn your video off and just relax into a nice, comfortable position. And all you really need to do is just follow my voice and be present and just enjoy. Okay, so let's start by getting comfortable in a position that is relaxing for you. If you're seated, sit with your spine erect and place your arms at your side. And if you're lying down, place your arms gently next to your thighs, palms facing up or down, and cross your legs. And just keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, and this improves blood flow. And once you're feeling completely comfortable, I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes if you wish. Lower your eyelids and focus on a gaze on a spot in front of the room if that's preferable for you. Let's begin with taking a nice deep breath in, filling your lungs, holding for a moment, and breathe out, emptying your lungs completely. And as you breathe, feel the air as it flows in and out of your lungs. And breathing in again, really feeling it from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Take your time, hold for 2, 3, 4, and gently breathe out through your mouth. And again, taking a nice deep breath in, filling your lungs, filling your abdomen. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and slowly breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Continue to breathe slowly and gently. Breathe in, breathe out. Just go within and relax. The breathing calms you and relaxes you and allows your body to relax. And just reminding you that there's nothing you need to be doing right now, nowhere you need to be, except right here in the present moment. This is your time. And as you continue to breathe slowly and comfortably, bring yourself inwards. How are you feeling emotionally? And now turn your attention to your body. Just notice how you're feeling physically. And without trying to change anything, simply become aware of any sensations in your body. And these might be buzzing or tingling, pressure, tightness, or temperature, or anything else you notice. And if you don't notice any strong sensations, and things feel neutral, that's okay. Just simply notice that too. And tune into what's present as best as you can without any judgment. Notice and observe without trying to change anything right now. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. Continuing to breathe, I'd like you to sense or imagine a ball of light hovering just above your head. It's soothing and it's relaxing. It's warm and soft. Now invite that soothing warmth of that relaxing light to begin to spread down into your scalp. Allow the muscles in your forehead and your temples to relax. Now moving your attention downwards to the level of your eyes, nose, and chin. As you breathe, allow your eyes to relax. And let your cheeks and jaw soften. And let go of any tension there. And now allow this peaceful feeling to flow down to your neck and deep into the muscles in your shoulders. Noticing and observe how your shoulders feel. And just breathe into the tension that's there. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out tension with soothing, relaxing release. Now allow this peaceful feeling to gradually move down your body, through your arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. As your body relaxes and mind relaxes. Moving to the center of your chest and at the level of your stomach. How is this part of your body feeling? Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen as you breathe slowly and deeply, softening and relaxing. And just keep observing your physical state. Turn your attention now to your back and just feel that relaxing warmth sensation gently going down your spine. Reaching the level of your hips. Keep observing and moving your attention down. How does this part of your body feel? Notice any tension without trying to change anything. Reaching now the level of your knees. Breathe relaxation into the muscles of your thighs and your legs, all the way down to your feet and your toes. And take a moment now to feel your whole body breathing. Scan your whole body. Notice how your body feels as a whole. Where is your body the most tense? Focus intently on this one area of tension. Just imagine the muscles here letting go of their hold, becoming loose, relaxed, softening. As you breathe, let that tension go. Just feel the muscles as they loosen, lengthen, warming and relaxing. Observe now where your body is most relaxed. How does this relaxation feel? Imagine that this relaxation is warm and tingly and moving and growing and spreading to relax every other part of your body. You are feeling calm, relaxed, breathing in relaxation and breathing out relaxation. Breathe in, relax, and breathe out. Keep breathing smoothly and regularly, relaxing more and more deeply with each breath. And for the next minute of quiet time, meditate on the word relax as you breathe in and you breathe out. And stay present. continue to relax for a while longer, enjoying this present, pleasant, calm feeling. Just acknowledge that you can relax anytime you need to take a break. This feeling of calm that you have right now can stay with you even after you're fully awake and alert. Now, gently bring yourself back into the room and into your immediate space. And allow your energy to increase. Take a moment to awaken your body and your mind. Rub your hands together, feeling your hands and your arms waking up. Wiggle your toes to wake your feet up and your legs. Move your feet. And then sit quietly just for a moment and absorb this peaceful energy that you've created around you and within you. And when you're ready and comfortable to do so, you may open your eyes. And stretch if you need to. Allow your body to fully reawaken. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that that was a peaceful and relaxing session for you. I come to the end of my session here today, and I want to say thank you to all of you. Again, my email is on my slide deck, and it's available on my profile. Please do send me an email if you are wanting more information, or if you'd like information on more guided sessions with me. So on that note, have a lovely day full of compassion, joy, equanimity, and love. Thank you so much.